Synopsys.
Synopsys, right? Had a beat with record earnings, but Wall Street didn't like the guide. A couple things going on there. I think there was an extra work week in Q1 24 that won't be in Q1 25. I thought it would get figured out the day after. It did not. There was also some skittishness about China. I think the company is taking a very conservative approach to it, as it should. Gosh, the details in the call are amazing. If you want to know about the future of semiconductors and even platforms, go read the transcript, right? Design wins on new technology like PCIe 6, CXL3, UCIe, ADAS, 800 gig demo discussions. Read it. It's pretty amazing. And there's a lot of discussions Sassine spent on alignment with ARM, right? Every product that ARM, even CSS, was discussed and fully integrated. And as we saw from the 50% AWS just on data center, these guys are cooking. Final comment, ANSYS is not a done deal yet. It has passed pretty much every hurdle but one out there. I think it's a huge opportunity. I like to call this the melding of micro design with macro design, and then you sprinkle AI, and it's an accelerant to both. That is the value proposition. It took me about 12 seconds to figure out what these guys were doing and who would benefit between Synopsys and ANSYS, and I think it's going to be big.
Yeah, this one is pretty straightforward. I continue to get asked all the time about who are the other plays in AI? Did I miss NVIDIA? Am I too late? I don't believe there's another GPU that can compete. The software companies are being too opaque. Well, here's a play. I mean, this is really a play. Like, you think we're going to make more AI chips. There's only really, the two EDA companies that drive most of this is going to be Synopsys, it's going to be Cadence. Synopsys is even more diversified. It's got a very substantial IP business as well. It's got some very advanced AI features that are used to help companies speed up the chip verification design. If you've been following the cycle, remember 3 and 4 year, compute cycles for, data center, meaningful compute cycles now being condensed to 1. And we could argue maybe even below 1 for some things. It's going to come down to having the tools to speed up the process of designing, the digital design RTL, and then of course the actual everything, from verification, which, as we all know, you can get 60 or 70% of the way through verification very quickly, but getting from 70 to 100 is very important. And of course, getting those highest yields is always going to be, we see how even BS rumors about low yields can crush stocks. Well, companies like Synopsys are an enabler for this. So I really like the company in its periphery to all this AI action. Similar to ARM in some ways and different in some ways because it's actually diversified. I do think the one thing that sort of struck the company, Pat, besides China, is just people kind of waiting on this ANSYS deal. There's been a bunch of sort of concessions made over the last year. These big deals are hard, and this is just one more indicator of, how do bigger deals get done? Is the Trump administration going to change anything? Pat, you asked me a great question the other day, is even if the U.S. has friendlier rules, what does that do the rest of the world, where you can't get anything out of England or the U.K.? You can't get anything out of China right now. Getting China to approve anything is really, really hard. So all these things is the big deal environment back on? Is it game on in tech? And I think the answer is still very touch and go. So it was a good quarter for Synopsys, but there are still some question marks around it. I really do like it as an AI play because of you just can't make chips without them. It's just not going to happen.